What's up, everybody? T3 here. Actually, this is right. All right. What's up, everybody? So it's T3 here with the second official How to Be Better at Stalking and Movement videos. I know I went on a bit of a tangent with the last video titled The Diamond of Oneness, and I will be talking much more about that in the coming days, but let's get back to stalking and movement practice. So last time, I had you, or I talked about the importance of being able to, and we're going to start off with the physical stuff, meaning what we can control in our body when it comes to stalking and movement. And the last couple lessons will be dictated to matching what our physical body is doing to what the rest of creation is doing, aka matching the baseline, matching your movements to the baseline. So yeah, I talked about that importance of that one-legged practice. So yeah, anytime you're forced to wait somewhere in line at the grocery store, stand there, practice being on one foot. There, because for some reason, and mostly due to footwear, most modern humans have evolved to walk in the very straight, stiffed out leg, heel to toe fashion, right? Where they don't use their legs as shock absorbers anymore the way they were designed to, the way we do when we fox walk. They don't move like that anymore. Instead, it's, oh my God, I'm late for work. I got to get my coffee, got to get to Starbucks. And when you walk like that, you can feel it in your whole body, vibrating your organs, your knees, your ankles, your shins. It's no wonder people have so many different maladies in those areas. So, the first thing is what is going to change our center of gravity from, most people keep it up around their head for some reason, which makes us really off balance. In order to compensate for lack of balance, we widen our straddle. Some of us walk with 1 foot pitched out. Other people walk with 2 feet pitched out, and they walk like a duck with a diaper on. These are all symptoms of years of wearing the wrong type of footwear and walking in the wrong manner. And, over the years, I've been blessed to work with orthopedists and orthopedic surgeons and had them integrate the natural movement practices I teach into their medical practice. And they have slashed the rates of surgeries, of narcotic prescriptions for pain, simply by teaching people to get a different type of shoe and move a little bit differently. So one thing you'll notice is as you start to adopt a lifestyle where you're walking and moving more on bent legs, you're going to get that burn in the thighs. In fact, we do did an exercise at the tracker school known as the burning four. And the burning four is a really good way to condition those muscles in your legs. And I'm not going to do the whole thing because it takes a minute and 20 seconds. But really quickly, I'll show you the movement. So I always had everybody start with your feet shoulder width apart, feet flat on the ground the whole time. That is crucial. Your feet have to be flat on the ground. So position 1, you start all the way down on your haunches. And then when I would say go, you would come up here a little bit, keeping your back straight, feet flat on the ground. Hold it here for 10 seconds. Move up a little bit, hold it for 10 seconds here. Up a little bit more for 20 seconds. Then 10 seconds. And then 10 seconds. And whew, that was like a mini version, and you feel it. Because a lot of times when, we need to remember when we're moving through the forest, That upright walking ape signals danger to everything out there in the woods. That head and shoulders silhouette is a dead giveaway there's a human. But simply by changing our profile from that upright walking person to, somebody who's just crouched down a little bit like this, simply by kind of shrinking ourselves forward, curling our shoulders in to get rid of that silhouette, you'd be surprised how close you can get to certain animals. Many prey animals don't have very good eyesight for picking out detail. Their eyes are amazing at picking out quick movement, like a predator pouncing. So simply by changing your profile, I once stalked up on a deer by just stalking sideways to it, like this. Because, right, you get rid of that profile. And that's why when I teach the throwing stick, I have you standing sideways to the target to get rid of that, cave person with a stick look. So, in keeping in mind and conditioning your legs and your feet, for stalking and movement, footwear is going to be crucial. And I'll talk a little bit about footwear now, and then included in this video, overlaid over the video, I'll put some still photos of some of the shoes I like. So most modern footwear is, as my father would call it, a coffin for your foot. It is an extremely restrictive thing that you put your foot into that does not allow your foot to move and bend and flex the way it was designed to. And when that happens, the muscles are atrophy in our feet, our tendons aren't as strong, our foot bone density isn't as strong. In fact, I'll see if I can find a link to attach to this YouTube session, but they found some skeletons in a cave that were 20,000 years old in Austria, I think, and they compared the foot and leg bone health of these ancient skeletons to the modern European. And they found that our ancient Homo sapien ancestors had far healthier feet, far denser bones than we did. And, most footwear, you look at it, it comes to a point. It's got that raised heel. You can twist it a little bit this way, but it really only bends like this. That's not the way your foot bends. If you really want to experience, the full Monty, spend a lot of time barefoot. When you go barefoot, you're forced to go slow because you don't want to hurt yourself. And your feet toughen up over time. I often speak in my webinars on how I tried to go a whole year without shoes. And by the end of that year, my calluses on my feet were so thick, I'd be in my tent at night and I'd be like, what's wrong with my foot? And I'd pull out like a roofing nail that was stuck in the callus. So your feet will toughen up. But if take Matt and Carmen Cordino from Mount Victory Camp in the Virgin Islands and tracker school instructors. They live down there in paradise and they never wear shoes, and their feet literally look like little hands with little tiny fingers. And you can watch Matt or Carmen literally scurry up a palm tree like it's nothing, because our feet are meant to be more dynamic and flexible and usable. And all modern footwear does is cut off the blood flow, keeps it from moving the way it was designed to. That's why I always go with a shoe that has a really nice wide toe box. You can see from the profile that this shoe, I could twist it that way, this way, this way, this way. I could roll it up. Super thin sole. I've tried all the major manufacturers, and these were $40 on Amazon. I will include a link. I don't even know the brand name, but there's several companies. I have 2 pairs, and out of all the kind of warmer weather barefoot style shoes that I've owned and worn, these are by far and away my favorite. For 40 bucks, they've held up a lot longer than pairs of by brands that cost twice as much. And they're awesome because they have that nice big wide toe box so my feet can spread. I can feel the earth. You know, there's something that's magic about, especially walking barefoot, just being connected to the earth. Because when you grow your awareness, especially your non-physical awareness, every footstep you take is like a conversation between you and the earth. And believe it or not, information can be relayed to you. You know, I'm sure many of you are aware that the forest is connected by a network of mycelia that transmits information across the whole forest. And if we truly learn to tap into our instincts that were once commonplace to our hunter-gatherer ancestors, we can begin to know things about a patch of woods we've never been in, just simply by taking a single step onto the trail. You'll just know where the nearest water source is, where the best shelter location is, you know, depending on what your need is. Very important word there, you know, need beyond self. But yeah, so as far as some other practice techniques, that burning 4 I mentioned, it's typically meant to be a minute and 20 seconds, but as you get better at it, remember, shoulder width apart, feet flat on the ground, you can come up and hold it here for 20 as long as you can, up here for like 30. You know, you could do a couple minutes each zone as you condition those leg muscles, because a lot of stalking and movement is crouch low to the ground to shrink your profile. Oftentimes you have a bow, so you don't have the ability to brace yourself on your thighs, you know, and you're just so connected with the landscape that you automatically match your movements to what's going on around you. And that's, you know, once again, is the essence of the diamond of oneness, is being able to go into an area and without thought, instantly drop into the baseline and be part of the surroundings, not a part of the surroundings, if that makes any sense to you. We are miraculous creatures. We have this giant flesh computer between our ears. And we have abilities that we have been told don't exist, or they're not capable of working, when I know for a fact that they do work. You know, when you get that feeling that you're being watched, that's because something is tunneling its vision in on you, focusing its intent. We feel that. So the love of awareness in myself is, as you work through these exercises to heighten your physical senses, it's like a snowball effect. The learning becomes easier, and then you're just always learning. Every time I walk into a room, you know, I'm scanning and looking at, seeing at the position of things and how they may have changed. You know, always asking the sacred question. You know, sacred question can be applied to stalking and movement, can be applied to tracking, can be applied to anything, can be applied to business for sure, because I've asked the hell out of the sacred question about business these last few years. In closing, for today's exercise, as I said, I'll supply links in the show notes about the specific brands of footwear I like. I do want to make some other quick announcements. You may have seen the video I released earlier. As I'm shooting for a first of the month release date of my schedule, my new blog, and the video accompaniment to it, because I am about to radically alter the way I do things in order to fulfill a mission that I promised my father I would many years ago. And the other thing I'm going to do between now and then is tell the real reason why I left tracker school in 2009. And, a lot of people think it was just because of, conflict between my father and I, or, internal politics, and that was some of it. But actually, that me leaving the school was born of a 3-hour conversation my father and I had. It was probably the longest single conversation I ever had with him about me leaving and why I needed to leave and separate myself for the last decade and a half. And that is to become a better version of myself, to take the things that he taught me, add what I've learned to it, therefore, adopting the teachings for a more modern time. And with the announcement that I'm about to make, it's going to be available to any and all who need it. Because right now, if we need anything as an animal, it is for us to come together as caretakers, respect our home, respect each other, take care of our home, and take care of each other. So until stalking point 3 or episode 3, work on movement, but with the bent legs. Now, when I'm moving on bent legs, I'm typically fox walking, but on the balls of my feet. I'll only touch my heels down to rest. The reason for that is the less surface area of my foot has to contact the ground, the less chance there is of a noise being made. I encourage you to go on YouTube and find video, slow motion video of a big cat stalking. One of the reasons they direct register, meaning the rear foot falls in the front foot's track perfectly, is because it knows it's stepped somewhere and hasn't made a sound, so it can safely put its back foot in that same spot. So you watch a big cat and they'll paw at the ground looking for that perfect spot to put their foot. Until next time, peace, love, joy, and purpose to you all. I'm so happy that I've found mine again. And I just have so much gratitude for all of you and for this beautiful sunny day with the sky full of what we called back east the cattail clouds. And anytime you saw cattail clouds, you were assured that it was going to be rain in the next few days. So yeah, check it out. Do some journaling if you ever see these clouds. Journal when they were, and then journal how many days later the storm hits. All right, until next time, y'all, peace and love.